And last but certainly not least, let's talk about Pre, right? It's funny that we're talking about Pre, right? Because back in 2018, when a little film called The Predator came out, right? Which I still rank as one of the top 10 worst movies of the
Yeah.
2010s, right? I
Shane Black writed it. Shane Black.
Yeah, Shane Blacker
Shane
wrote and
Black.
directed it. Jesus Christ, right?
Shane,
Yeah,
Shane,
I
Shane. Be ashamed of himself, Black.
you know, yeah, I told myself that this is probably the end of the franchise, or like this series needs to done. You know, what I mean, the Predator franchise, right? And I
Yeah.
do still stand by my statement back in 2018, where this franchise has been inconsistent. You know, what I mean, in terms of just where it went, in terms of its narrative and conceit and all that kind of stuff, right? Much to my surprise, we got Prey, right, which is a prequel now to the original Predator, right? And even more surprising, this thing came out on Hulu, right?
Right.
So just to make this a reference to a review that we did earlier on for a film that we absolutely loved, Prey Boy. Prey was
Yeah.
hard boy. Prey Prey
Yeah,
Prey
boy.
Prey hard boy. Prey
Boy,
hard
boy.
boy. Prey was real hard boy. What's
Happy.
what's the other Native American dread and then
Amy.
the Predator come down boy.
Yeah,
And
made
it was a
answer
real
boy.
fighting boy. Yeah boy.
And
It was
after
hard boy.
hold it. Right.
Yeah boy.
Yeah. Good.
But yeah, Ricardo, take it away. What is Prey about?
Right. So yeah. So is the early, 18th century.
Yes.
Early 18th century. It's Comanche. They were, I think.
It's Comanche. It's
Right.
Comanche.
Right. So Naru. Naru is the character's name. Right. I'm not reading it here. Right. So Naru. Yeah. She's a little Disney princess. Right. She kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does kind of, nobody take it too seriously because she's a woman, and
Yes.
she,
But I know medicine and I could track, so
Right,
they're
but
like, all right, cool, you'll come with us then.
she had to prove herself. She had to prove
Yeah.
herself in terms of hunting, and there's like, nah, you can't be no hunter. You're a little girl, and she's like the bratty little sister who had to come along, kind of thing. But she go out on she own with she dog and doing she own thing, and she coming up with she own little clever tricks or whatever it is with the hunting party, and so on and so forth. I'll be fair, she kind of a little dotish when she ready, because like the first thing she decided to hunt is a freaking like a bear. Like, come on. Like, a
Well,
bear's a-
look, it's about proving one's
Yeah,
quote-unquote manhood, right? That's what it is,
because the
right?
thing is, the other animal is like, that other animal dangerous enough, you can go for that, but what happens that
Oh,
she
you
gets
mean the mountain lion, right?
mountain lion, right?
Right.
So yeah, so what happens that she mountain lion, and then what happens that she noticed something kind of off, like she think it of something, because she basically saw the predator ship, and she said no, she saw the fire hawk or something like that, and then she's like, no, it have a creature, and it's like, and then she all the family and she cousin and the rest of the friends is like laughing at she normal thing. Character wise, that's straightforward it is, but anyway, eventually she bunks up the predator. And then the predator, as usual, predator doing predator things, and they meet some French, I think, what they were trackers. I'm not sure what they were.
Yeah. I think they were trappers actually.
Trappers, right? You're right. So they're looking for their pelt, right? More pelts. And
Yeah. I see.
yeah, so that's pretty much it. And they just we get some predator drama, and eventually predator kill off who had to kill off, and she had to survive, and she sorted it out. It's predator. We saw the first Predator, we're getting into. And I thought Amber Hunter was excellent. I thought she was great,
Yes.
great lead, make it work.
She was actually in Legion though, you know what I mean, and some other shows, but because I forgot Legion for a hot minute, I actually thought that she was like a first timer though. Like in terms of just the look and just what she was able to do physically though, yeah, she killed it though.
Right. But yeah, so I thought she was great in this. She held it together. She really felt like a person in over her head. It didn't feel too contrived how she beat Predator. Like, it makes sense. They made it make sense. And is my boy, Dan Trachtenberg.
Yes.
He did one of my favorite movies of the year that came out. That was 10 Cloverfield Lane.
That's right. Which I believe we covered when it came out. Yes, we did.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty damn good. I actually really enjoyed that. I thought this was pretty badass. It's, we get to see the Yautja. It's kind of weird that we don't get to see more of these. Like, the Predator franchise never, like, they finally, like, nail it. Because it was always weird, like, hey, how come we don't have, like, 20 of these? Very easy premise for, like, an anthology series. Predator versus Mongolian. Predator versus Maasai warrior. Look, the Northman boy, Northman.
Yeah, Northman boy, no.
We could have got Predator versus Northman, so just take out the bad guy from Northman and play the Predator and he fighting on Volcano. How awesome that would be.
Yeah.
Is that? Like, it's just normal human shit. Predator coming down, trying to do some hunting thing. Human fight back and win because, lucky. But not so lucky at the same time, really ingenuity and clever. And they make it work. And yeah, this is one of them. This Predator, it could be Predator versus ninjas, Predator versus pirates, Predator versus samurai, Predator versus Egyptian warrior. And because it's such an ancient civilization, you can go back to any time in human history, more or less.
Thank you.
And they make it work. But yet, for some reason, every one of the Predator franchise just never nail it. They just, after the first film, okay, so I'm in the camp that likes Predator 2, right? I don't love Predator 2, but I like Predator 2. Right?
I like the effort to do something different.
Right. It was weird. It was a little weird. They went kind of left wheel with it, but it is a movie that did in some interesting things.
Yes.
I remember liking. Okay, so AVP. I like the first AVP, kinda. Right. Again.
Yeah, kinda.
Only because
the second one is a travesty, but yeah, the first one was done. Santa Layton. I mean,
Santa Layton. Right. That's the reason I went to watch it anyway. It was like, it's vibes. And then I really enjoyed Predators. Right, Predators was the movie. Right.
Yeah,
really
but as I brought up in my review of the Predator, I actually thought that the Predator was going to follow up after Predators, but it wasn't. Because of the way how Predators end, like a cliffhanger. So
and what is
why the Predator itself never?
What kill these Predator movies is all the law building bullshit now. Like, you don't need to know about the Yauta and this society or whoever they are. I don't need to know about them.
Yeah, I just like the idea. Look, these alien warriors, they have to prove themselves.
Right.
They do the hunting thing. They rise amongst the ranks. That's what EVP did so well.
Yeah, and they come, they do the thing. And don't you can understand why they kind of dotish because it's kids. Like, that's always understood the Predators. It's like the
kids. I never see them as kids.
Now.
I see them as they men. They hardback men.
Well, I just interpret them as young, like trying to prove themselves kind of thing. It's some of them. Like,
I see. Kind of like the warriors that we see here, mostly young.
It's a parallel,
right?
It's a parallel kind of thing now. They're very young. They have to prove themselves in wherever it is, and it's Predator version of their rituals or whatever it is. That's how I always interpret this, right? It's a parallel in that sense now. That way they're not that bright and they kind of fucking it up a little bit now, because they're not experienced now. And he by himself, and he had to make sense of it. But he have all this advanced tech. Small little thing I liked. The advanced tech wasn't so advanced, like, from the time of the 300 years or so since the events of
the first movie, which I loved. I love that. That's a very, very, very smart call. Yeah.
So the technology advanced, just he's still capable of space flight apparently, but like in little things like the shield is like a metal shield this time.
Even the explosive devices were different.
Yeah,
and
it felt
the setup of it is a lot different.
Yeah, they felt more primitive somehow. Well, primitives for Predators now. It didn't feel as advanced technology, but you still have the what do you call it, the infrared and stuff like that now.
Yeah.
In terms of like just the set pieces, great set pieces. The fights were great. Like, you had a fight with the wolf, that was pretty badass.
Oh yes. You had
a fight with the
one with the bear really got to me.
I
want got to me. My God,
that was pretty badass too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was just solid for what it was. I didn't love it. I just think I felt they could have done some more character work with the main characters and what's your name, Saru, whoever it is. Naru.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just a little too simple. Also, from what I understand, there's a Comanche cut, so there's a version where you could see them speaking entirely in Comanche. But I find
I'll start off my review with that. But good thing you brought that up. Yeah.
Right, but I find the English thing, they're just sounding like just white kids, like just a bunch of white kids, like just kids now, and that takes me out a little bit. But I heard there's a Comanche cut coming. Okay. Right.
I'll talk about that. I'll talk about that.
Yeah. I heard there's a Comanche cut coming, so I want to hear it in Comanche and see how it's sung cool. And then one of the main things is just the representation of the tribes. They make it accurate as possible. This is great. They nailed that. That kind of world building they had to do. They make it work. And then they just build from there. Solid. Give it a thing and I'll give rating and we could go.
Right. Okay. So I'm keep this short and sweet, right? I love this film. I did not expect to enjoy this as much as it did, right? Simply because it just took it back to its roots, like in every sense of the word. It felt simple to the point. We're not trying to copy the first film, or we're doing something a little bit different, you know what I mean? But we stay into the core of what it's about, and it's just about these intense hunting, right? Hunter versus prey. That's what it is, right? And it's so funny, right? Like, it took X amount of years, right? Now we're in 2022, and somebody at 20th Century Studios is like, you know, instead of just calling this movie Predator or Predator this, Predator that, why we don't just make a prequel and call it Prey?
Right.
Ding! Light bulb. You would think, like, honestly, you would think that somebody would have come up with this concept sooner enough, you know. And I can't see that this was like a script that was in the back burner for decades or whatnot, right? But it legit feel like an idea that could have been executed like ages ago when the Predator franchise was still trying to find its footing, right? Because again, inconsistency, right? I did see, or I should say listen to part of the Comanche cut, right? So, but here's the funny thing, right? It's, I believe, because and I have to give the show huge props for this, right? They actually cast American actors who have Native American ancestry, right? So I believe Amber, Mid Thunder, actually she's from the Sioux tribe, right? But just the mere fact that they got actors who have that ancestry in them, right? Yeah, that was a brilliant call, right? So the Comanche cut, but they are talking standard English, well, American English pretty much, right? So in the Comanche cut, though, it's actually a dub. It's actually a Comanche dub, right?
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah, like I just watched this. I watch it. Looks like, no, they're talking English. So I just went back to English. Like, all right, well, I'll just stick with the English. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That being said, though,
wait, is it in the? Okay, where did you watch it? Because is it on the Hulu player? They have a Comanche translation. Is that the case?
I did not watch it on Hulu. I kind of shipped me timbers it, and they actually put out both versions of it. Actually, right?
Okay, no problem.
But yeah. But it would take you out the show, right? Because it have the subtitles and whatnot, right? But it's just pretty much there to make it, a little bit more authentic to, how the actors, how the characters would have spoken there, right? That being said, in terms of the dialogue and whatnot, right? I know for some people it might take them out, like, why they sound in America, why they saying, hey, let's do this or whatever, right? It's not too American, it's not too standard English, right?
Yeah.
But it reminds me a lot of a little film from, I believe, 2006, which is one of my favorite shows of the 2000s, called Apocalypto.
Right.
It feels very much like that.
Right.
Where, yes, it's a period piece.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Melly Gibbs.
Yeah, Melly Gibbs, right? Where it's a period piece, yes, it's the Mayan warriors and whatnot.
Right.
But yeah, they're talking standard English. Like, there's a character who says, I'm walking here, right? Kind of like what Dustin Hoffman see in Midnight Cowboy. There's a moment, if you remember, where a guy got his face ripped off by a panther, and then the other guy watching him say, we're fucked. Like, I mean, it's that, right? It does not take you out of the story itself. But it's like, yeah, it's a modern show, so we have the characters talk and sound modern. That's really what it is, right? But I know it will be a nitpick for some people. Like, yeah, why they talking like this? But it sounds like some teenagers from the States just, basically out the woods looking for predators, right? That's what it is, right? But it didn't take me out of the show, personally, right? The casting I thought was great. Like, it's a small cast, but I do love the fact that it is, just these actors who have of Native American ancestry. I thought that was really a smart call, right? Amber Mid Thunder, though, this is like the first time I see her in a show. Don't mind, I forgot, Legion for a hot minute, right? Yeah, she steals the show. She's a star, Dread. She's an action star, Dread. This show kind of put her as, one of the big, action badasses, I would say, just, and not just for what she does in terms of fighting off the predator, but this what she goes through and how she overcomes it, right? Reminds me a lot of like Apocalypto, right? Where, is this character, this random character who's just put in this like life or death situation. It's just this endless chase, pretty much, like him being targeted, right? But yeah, in this case is her being prey and then eventually becoming predator, which makes a lot of sense, right? To touch on the predator, love the design. I love how it, like the mask itself, right, or the helmet, if you want to call it that.
Yeah,
I love
like
the smart call of making it slightly feel sort of Native American, like almost like, all right, it's skull. One of those, like a skull. It looks
looking like a skull,
right? Yeah, and when you look at it, it's like, yeah, you can imagine like some warrior tribe in the States back then, would have had some sort of helmet like that, like, so, I don't know, some sort of buffalo skull, have it on top of the head. Right. Like a headpiece or some kind of thing, so, and riding off into battle. It totally works. It's like, yeah, this actually fitting. But the real smart call, though, is just the characters themselves. Having them be warriors themselves on a hunt, and then you have this, the predator himself on a hunt as well, too, right? Yeah. And, it's just the parallels. So, the tribesmen trying to hunt this big creature, right? And then at the same time, you're seeing how, bigger creatures attack smaller creatures, and then you will see like the predator watching this thing for the first time. And this is like I love how they make it simple visually, right? But this is one of those things that kind of gets muddled with the subsequent predator films in terms of like what's the reason for them hunting. But in his case, it's like, all right, I just want to see what the alpha male creature is in this world. I got hunted. So okay, it's not the wolf. Okay, it's not the bear. Oh, it's human. All right, I'm gonna hunt humans, and that's it.
Right.
That's it. That's it. Right? Yeah. I did not expect the French trappers a mile away though. Yeah. I love how they make it work too, where they have one character who actually speaks the language, and well, if you watch the original cut, Comanche, it's English, but if it's Comanche, it's Comanche, right? And I love the mere fact that they have guns too, and because it reminds me so much of the military team that was in the first one, right? And just how those trappers were targeted, I would say, by the predator was badass. I loved every second of it. There's a few, there's some really like sweet kills in this though. Yeah. And I will say, if you're an animal lover, there's some animal violence in this as well too. So be forewarned.
The CG, that's the one thing that kind of pull it on a little bit. The CG animals, little crap.
Yeah. Especially like, I should say, the CG animals in general. Like, I know it's 20th Century Studios, I know it's Hulu, right? But you can kind of tell they're working on a budget, which I kind of understand given who the director is. They kind of working on a budget. So yeah, when it comes to the CG animals, they look like CG animals. Especially that bear, when you see it's like, that's CG bear. Yeah. But they make it look good.
The bear look okay. But I thought it had one scene with the wolf and the rabbit. That would look a little.
Oh yeah. See that like right. They kind of cut corners with the mountain lion because it was a night shot. I was like, why they do that. Yeah. We all know why they do that, right? But I do applaud the fact that they didn't resort to that tactic of having scenes take place at night, so they can
exactly.
The CG does like we're gonna have daytime shots. You know what I mean? We're gonna do that, right? Speaking of daytime shots, though, cinematography, on point though, on point. Looks damn great though. It looks believable. It looks like it's not sparse or anything like that, but you could tell that this is a world where literally, if you don't know your surroundings and if you don't know how to defend yourself, you could die easily. It is a dog-eat-dog world there, literally, right? And just love how Naru kind of just learns through all of this and just what she goes through. And it's painful. It's life-threatening for her, right? She goes through the ringer in this though, but how she comes back out and how she just pretty much shows to that just her brethren, but to the viewer, she a badass. So when shit hits the fan, I mean, she really stole it there, man. And just her confrontations with the predator absolutely worked for me, right? The music I thought was great as well too. It's done by Sarah Sheena. First time I heard about her, right? But she did a great score for this. They incorporate some Native American drums and stuff like that, so they make it work, right? But at the end of the day, this is just a pure return to form, to Prey. They didn't overcomplicate things. They kept it simple. They kept it to the point. I love how they compare the Comanche rite of passage in terms of this warrior hunting to the predator himself and his rite of passage as well too. I love how just how it was genuinely intense at some points as well too, and it was just damn fun just watch this, man. And for me though, just to get to read it, it's really something that you wish kind of like I don't know, like when I was watching, it's like, wow, why didn't it come with this sooner, dude? This is such a great idea, Dred. All this stuff with the predator and the this and the that, Dred. Like, go back to basics, man. You know what I mean? So I would love to see like incarnations of this, like how you say, Predator versus, Mayan or Ninja. That would make for like a great series of prequels or whatnot, right? But the Predator franchise is back on track though. I don't know where it's gonna go in the near future. I don't think it'll go anywhere at all. But hey, we didn't expect this, and here it dropped, right? And I would say right off the bat, this is one of the best films I have seen thus far, man. I really dug the hell out of this, man. So rating wise, I'm gonna give this a strong 4 to a light 4.5 out of 5, man. I had a blast with this though. Simple, to the point, back to the roots. No over complication. We're not trying to reference the old film too much. And by the way, before I forget, there's a couple of references to the old film as well. There's one in particular
a line
at the end. I clap at that. I was like, that is so smart. And I
remember the line where you say, it's at the line where you say, if it could bleed, if it
bleeds, we can kill it. When I hear that, I was like, whoa.
Smart line. Is that it's very organic. It didn't feel
Yes,
contrived at all. It's very organic. Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, man. Even if we don't get another sequel or prequel to this, man, Amber Midthunder has a future in terms of just on-screen presence, man, and just standing just dope films, man. And yeah, I mean, Prey is easy one of the best, Predator films. I would say I would have this right up there with the first film, man. I mean, the first film will always be on top there for me, but I would easily put Prey right under this too. And I guess to the extent I could put either Predator 2 or Predators, in my opinion, right? The Predator does not exist in my eyes. That is total garbage. Still one of the worst films of the past decade. So that could, suck salt as far as I could say, man. But yeah, Predator is back on track though. It took them long, but back on track, man. That's all I'll say. So right, man. So final thoughts and return.
Yeah, I thought this was really excellent. Again, just solid filmmaking across the board. I felt they could have do more with the character work, but it was, again, keep it simple. So don't overthink it. But I felt they could have still do a little more with the character work, but whatever. I don't rate an 8 out of 10, closer to a 9, to be honest. This might make my best of the year list. I don't know. But it just did so much right and very little wrong. I really enjoyed it.
Right.